tests profiling him to determine whether or not he was stable. And this stability would be pertinent to his work because he was supposed to counsel soldiers returning from battle. It was also to determine whether he was fit for foreign duty. And he passed those tests last November, a year ago, with flying colors.
Now, why would he pass the tests?
Well, as a psychiatrist, he would know the answers. He'd be perfectly well schooled in how to respond to all those questions. And so he could very well have been placing himself in a position for a certain kind of action. We don't know. But, J.R., you mentioned the Twin Towers bombing. Nobody knew about Al-Qaeda and the links between Al-Qaeda and the airline bombers. That came out later.
But oftentimes what we hear over the news media is something fed to us to keep us from becoming too antagonistic against or to condemn with a broad brush.
Right.
They want to try to keep it narrowed down to just the man himself. And they make him out like almost he was a victim himself, you know.
Now, the question is, was Major Hassan sane or was he insane? How could a sane man stand up and shoot down dozens of people in cold blood, all the while, as was reported in the news, shouting, Allahu Akbar, God is great? This is the cry of a Muslim terrorist. How could a sane man do this? On the other hand, you could argue that he's quite sane. He just simply has a different system of belief. But J.R., I wanted to introduce a verse of Scripture. Paul, writing to Timothy, talking about the last days, and he says in 1 Timothy 3:1, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." And that word perilous is a translation of the Greek chalipos, which means ragingly insane. So you could read it this way: "This know also that in the last days ragingly insane times shall come." And J.R., it looks like we're seeing them.
And our government allows Muslim clerics in the military, and who knows where the next one will start shooting.
Yes.
Even on the base down there, they take the guns away from the soldiers. It's a base where nobody's allowed to have a gun unless they're issued the gun to go out to do a particular thing. Then they have to bring the guns back and check them back in again. This, all because even our government is afraid of the soldiers.
Yes. They
don't know where the next, shall we say, crazy man's going to come from and shoot up a bunch of people. It's a pretty sad day when we cannot abide by the First and Second Amendments to the Constitution, the right to bear arms. And